Hi souls, it's me, Kylie, your Saturday or weekend reader at Awakened Soul in Grand Rapids. We're in the second week of Leo season and it's time for another pick a pile. I have here some crystals by which you can pick your pile. I'm going to say right now that size does not matter. Size does not matter. So to compensate for the rather large size of this one, I got two of these so that you can know that size does not matter. So what I'd like you to do is hone in on the crystals you see before you. Look at the properties you see, feel their resonance, and then decide which of these piles is the one you will be listening to today. And I will have timestamps in the caption. On the left, we have blue kyanite. In the middle, we have carnelian. And on the right, we have blue lace agate, blue lace agate. So again, focus on the crystals you see, feel their resonance, decide which of the piles is right for you. And in a little bit, I'll come back with each pile's reading. Hello, blue kyanite pile. This is your reading. These are the pieces of blue kyanite that you honed in on. Plural, because I didn't want you to feel that they were less than the blue lace agate. Pretty good stone for throat chakra, clarity, serenity, that kind of thing. But here's blue kyanite for you. You have quite a few cards today. In fact, all but the last pile kind of did. And remember that we are using decks featured in the Leo season archetype reading, including our featured deck, which is the Circe Tarot, which has this backing. Our clarifying deck, which is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot with the trees. And then for primary advice today, we are using the Inner Temple Oracle and going from there. So again, a lot of cards, blue kyanite pile. Let's see what your reading is. We have the Lovers, 3 of these cards, by the way, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. You got a 9-9, so you're definitely in a spot where you need to let something go before you can complete your cycle. We have the Lovers here though, so this could indicate potentially a relationship and the status of that relationship. It could also be a choice. I'll have to see what the clarifiers really say right now because I'm not sure where that's going to land. But I can tell you that you're at a place now where a lot of hard work is going to be paying off here shortly. It does actually feel like a relationship as I'm talking about it, but it feels as though also you've been working on things for a while, and maybe you've been going to counseling, or you have been communicating with each other, trying to work through some things that have been happening because you have been a little hurt. And when you're hurt, you have a choice to make, which is, do I keep continuing in this dynamic, or do I make the choice to walk away, or something in the middle of that? It's not necessarily a binary choice. There's many choices in there, but you have been hurt in the past. You did take a step back, and you've been working with the person as well, and working with yourself, and trying to decide essentially if you should keep going. So let's see what the clarifiers say. This is an unusual amount of cards, so I feel like there are messages in here you need to hear, blue kyanite pile. From the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, we have the 2 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Definitely have a choice to make. Definitely have a choice to make. I do think it is potentially relationship based. And you're trying to stay flexible. I think that's why you've been working with the person, but also taking a step back. You're trying to decide which would be the best path forward for you. And you want to feel confident in the choice that you make. I think you've been kind of meditating on this for a while, and you're not sure if it's worth it, but there's a lot of love here for whoever this person is. This does feel like it's a long-term relationship that took kind of a stutter step, had a little temporary glitch, but it was a big enough glitch that it actually caused you to question, you know, whether or not you should actually remain in this dynamic. But you are trying to stay flexible. I think you're trying to stay open to the idea that something could work here, which is why you've chosen to kind of work towards something, and you are going to see the results of that work. Now, this does not say exactly what that result will be, but I will say that whatever choice you make will be the choice that you feel is the most right for you, that you feel confident about, even that you feel spiritually aligned with. That's what the Hierophant tells us. So let's see what your advice is. Ooh, we have the Golden Thread, but in reverse from the Inner Temple Oracle. So you're looking for the exact right thing. You're looking for the magic thing that's going to tell you, yes, I should keep going, or no, I should walk away. But it's in reverse, viewer. It's in reverse, blue kyanite pile. You're not going to find that magic thread. You're looking for it. You are actually sort of desperate to find it. Spirit is saying you need to let that idea go. We also have the 2 9s, which talks about letting go. You know, that you're not going to get a magic sign that's going to assure you everything's going to be okay one way or another. This is very much one of those situations where you've been in it, you're in the relationship, you know the person, you know yourself. First of all, stop giving your power away to something that you actually can't fully control, and only work and focus on the things you can. And then know that you're part of this equation too, right? What's going to make you feel the most regretful? Going back into it, knowing what you know, or walking away, knowing that you could have tried? And then, have you even thought about the non-binary choices here, the stuff in the middle? You know, maybe it's a trial separation. Maybe it's counseling. Maybe it's we agree to date again, or to start over and try to go to a clean slate. Or maybe we just take the issues we haven't been communicating about and communicate about them. Because you do have blue kyanite, and it does appear that perhaps your throat chakra is blocked there, or needs at least a little bit of help, if not completely blocked. So Spirit is saying don't look for the magic solution. It's not going to be there. It really won't be. You have to base it on the experience you have, the people you know, and most of all yourself, and what's going to make you feel the most confident, the most secure, and the most aligned with whatever you decide. There is love here, but there is also a lot of work involved in maintaining this. And so, unfortunately, it's going to be a choice from the heart, and you are the one who has to make it. Spirit's not giving you the answer. They're giving you you can't wait for the magic moment, or the magic solution, or the magic sign even, because you're going to be okay either way. I don't think you would have gotten this advice otherwise. I think it really comes down to whatever's going to make you feel the most regret versus the most wholeness with the choice you make. But you're going to have to let some things go. You got the 9-9. So definitely don't worry about the magic sign. Think about the work you've been doing. Is it really moving things along? Is it making progress? And maybe stop and take a moment to step out from your reclusiveness, your hermit mode, your hidden behind the wall because you're a wounded warrior. You know, there's definitely healing that has to be involved, but at some point you're going to have to decide if you can heal by yourself or heal with the other person. Wow, a heavy one to start out, blue kyanite pile, but these are messages for somebody. I feel very right now that this is a very specific reading for somebody who might be watching it right now. But if you need clarification or an individual reading to help clarify what you've heard, don't hesitate to contact us at Wake and Soul. In the meantime, this is your reading, blue kyanite pile. Thank you for watching. Love and light. I hope it was useful to you, and I hope to see you at Wake and Soul. Take care. Hello, Carnelian pile. This is your reading. These are the carnelians that you saw. There's 2 of them again, so that you recognize that size doesn't matter since that last crystal is pretty big. Carnelian is excellent for your sacral chakra. It's good for emboldening and enhancing creativity, passion, even the sexy times. Bow chicka wow wow. I love these little heart captions. They're nice. I might get one of these myself. I like some carnelian. So you also had a few cards, not as many as the first pile, carnelian pile, but still quite a few, from the Circe Tarot, which again has this backing. We have the 6 of Cups. So right now you are thinking a lot about the past, a lot about memories. You might be having some nostalgia. The 6 of Cups tends to be happy memories. You might be thinking a lot about your childhood or even your parents. But there's definitely a sense of yearning for the good old days, and we'll see why that is the case. From the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot with your clarifiers, we have the 5 of Swords and Temperance. So you're yearning for the good old days because you have been embattled lately and you feel as if you can't win. In fact, you've suffered a lot of losses, and these could be grief-related losses, but I'm actually getting the sense that they're much more about you've had to do a lot of fighting and scraping and sword clashing and just trying to stand your ground, and you haven't been successful. And so that's why it's like, oh gosh, I wish it is how it used to be. I wish that I could, make this better without having to do all of this fighting. You're looking for peace. You're looking for, just a pause in all this action, a sense of all this war and battle is being done. You're looking for the right balance in your life that doesn't cause you to have to do all of this fighting. So definitely a lot of nostalgia there from these cards. Your advice from the Inner Temple Oracle is twofold. You have the Masks We Wear, which is actually a gorgeous card, and the Burning Rose. So right now, Carnelian pile, I think you feel like this having to fight everything and constantly losing, and this need for balance and wishing for the good old days, that's really become your identity lately. And you're looking for a huge change. So there's a couple of things that Spirit is advising here with this oracle. First of all, no, this is not your identity. It's a mask you're wearing right now. It's time to consider removing that mask and actually burning it all down. The burning rose suggests that, you know, there might be some hope that you need to be rekindled. But generally speaking, and this is what I'm getting off this card, and I'm just going to say it, I think you're in desperate need of a start over, a new beginning. I think you need to start over. And Spirit is saying maybe it's time you burn everything to the ground and kind of step into your new timeline. This is just a mask you're wearing right now. And unfortunately, maybe you think you need to be wearing the mask, but you don't have to. You're kind of voluntarily taking it on. It is going to require you to embrace change. It's going to require you to embrace the idea that maybe this phase of life is no longer yours to undertake, which is why everything feels hard, and why you feel like you're battling and losing all of the time. It's time to remove the mask, though. It's time to consider that maybe there is another way. And if you have been considering, Carnelian Pile, any sort of new beginning, starting over, if there's something that you've been dreaming about or wanting to do that you have allowed fear to prevent you from doing, Spirit is giving you a huge sign here to consider going for it. Because whatever you're doing now is not making you happy. And you're struggling for balance that you're not quite achieving. You're wishing for all of these good times, whether they were good or not, from the past, because the present right now is so difficult. Now, I know that sometimes when we're in the thick of it, it's hard to think about throwing our energy towards something new, but Spirit is actually suggesting that you need something new. You need a reason to hope again. You need some new passion. And you're starting to think that this is your identity, but it's not. It's not your identity. It doesn't have to be. You can definitely choose to do or be or start something else. If you were looking for a sign that you should do that, this is that sign. If you didn't know that you were looking for a sign that you should do this, this is the advice from Spirit. Embrace some of that passion. If you don't have carnelian in your personal crystal inventory, it might be worth getting some, because it's going to stir your passion to want to be able to reach for whatever this is. If there's something that you've been kind of thinking about, pining after, wanting to start. But whatever is happening right now isn't working. So this is kind of a wake-up call. Take off the mask. This is not your identity. This is not the you. It's not emblematic of you. It's not representational of you. Things can get better. It won't all be the good times have passed and you can't hope or want for anything better in this life. But it is going to require, this one you're going to have to kind of knock down to the studs. And as far as your life is concerned, and this does feel like broadly life-oriented, you're going to have to let the foundation shake a little bit and maybe burn it down. Start something new, which I'm not telling you how to live your life, but Spirit's actually giving you a little bit of a nudge to do this. Probably because you've been thinking about it for a while, Carnelian Pile. Wow. I'm still thinking through it, Carnelian Pile, because this one feels heavy, but it also feels somewhat exciting. Like perhaps you've been really up in your head for a long time, thinking it's never going to get better. But unfortunately, you do have some free will here. This isn't a fated thing. You can steer the course of your own future, but you have to embrace the change. And I think that's ultimately what we're looking at, so that you can look back on this moment sometime later in the future and say, wow, I'm glad I did that. I needed it. I had to do it. Yeah. Wow. Even I'm a little gobsmacked by that one. Relatable. That's your reading, Carnelian Pile. I hope it was useful to you. Many blessings, love and light. If you need clarification on what this might be, don't hesitate to see us at Wake and Soul. In the meantime, though, I hope that you think about this one and let it basically sit with it for a little while, because I know it wouldn't be a small or easy decision as far as this advice, but I think it's time, Carnelian Pile. I think it's time to step into your new timeline. Love and light to you. We'll see you soon. Take care. Hello, Blue Lace Agate Pile. This is your reading. This is the Mondo piece of blue lace agate that I could find in the store. This is definitely a crystal for your shelf, not for your pocket, certainly not for any other storage places you might use. This one's an okay specimen. We have some better ones in the store, but this is the smallest one I could find. Another good stone for peace, serenity, calm, meditation. But that's the blue lace agate. You didn't have as many cards as the other two piles. You were a 1-to-1-to-1. So let's see what your reading says and how straightforward it is, blue lace agate pile. First, we have the King of Wands from the Circe Tarot, which is this back. Right now, you're just trying to hang on. You are trying to dig your feet into the ground and using all your willpower to kind of stay in whatever it is you're trying to stay in. You're trying very hard not to give up. Let's see what the clarifier is from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, which is this deck. We have the Three of Pentacles. So there's a team around you right now who I think you feel loyal to, as well as you feel as if you owe them this. You want to keep the team together for a variety of reasons. And this could also be a support network. You're trying to stay eyes on the prize, but there are things that you're doubting. And that's why you've decided not to give up, or you're really considering not giving up. There's a lot of positive team-oriented aspects to the venture, and it does feel like venture or work that you don't want to lose or become separated from should you quit, resign, stop, whatever the case might be. But you also feel as if the team together or the support network together can help you be successful. And it almost feels as if you're in, and this is feeling now, in a sort of a liminal space where there's a real possibility for success, but also a real possibility for failure. And that you're kind of straddling the fence right now, deciding what you should do, but you're leaning towards obviously sticking with it because of the fact that you have such a strong team and such a strong support network. So your advice from the Inner Temple Oracle is soul retrieval in reverse. So right now, you have to decide, blue lace agate pile, what is aligned with your soul. Really dig down deep. Be very head-oriented, heart-oriented. If you have to pray, pray. Do ritual, do spell, talk to friends, talk to the support network. And determine where your soul is speaking. Do you keep going or do you stop? It's in reverse right now because you're not actually listening to you or your heart. You're listening way too much to these other people, and that's okay. I think they have, they have a role and they have input and they have been supportive to you. I don't think that you cut them out, but I think you're giving more weight to what they're saying than to what your soul actually wants and needs. So it's time, Blue Lace Agate Pile, to really talk with yourself, even if it means sitting in front of a mirror and asking yourself the question, meditating, journaling, praying, ritualizing, getting, doing a spell, whatever you like to do for these kinds of questions. It's time to ask your soul what it wants, if you don't already know, because you're giving way too much credit to the others in the situation and not enough to yourself. It's good that you don't want to give up, but make sure that the not giving up is what you want, not what you think everybody else wants. I think that's basically the summary of the whole reading. Short, sweet, and to the point, Blue Lace Agate Pile. Because we drew this off the Blue Lace Agate, what I think you need to do, if you haven't already, is find a quiet spot, one that makes you feel grounded and connected to the larger universe, whether that's sitting by water or walking through the woods or finding a quiet nook in a library somewhere, or, sitting at your altar, sitting in a church, whatever makes you feel connected to the larger forces, so that you can ask your soul what it wants. We do have services in the store that can help you with this, including Christine's services. Some of the things she does can kind of help you communicate with your higher self. But either way, you need to start focusing inward and determining if sticking with it is what you want. I think on some level it is, but there's just a lot of doubt and a lot of credit being given to the others in the situation as far as what they're telling you to do or what you think you owe them. That's your reading, Blue Lace Agate Pile. Short, sweet, to the point, and kind of in your face. But I hope it was useful to you. Many blessings, love and light. And to everybody who watches these videos, thank you so much for doing that. I hope that they are useful and helpful to you. I enjoy making them, and I enjoy connecting with you this way. As always, if you'd like to see me in person for a reading, you can do that at Wake and Soul in Grand Rapids. I read on Saturdays. We have a reader Tuesday through Fridays named Melissa, who does so with the cards. We have Kat, who does tea leaves, root work, and other fun ways, palmistry to read. And then we have an array of multiple metaphysical services available to you, as well as some fun things in retail. If your metaphysical needs aren't met, I'm sure Steph can, at the store, who owns the store and runs the store, can help you out. But until next week, when we do our expansion readings for these pick-up piles, I hope that all of the advice was useful to you. I hope that you have a good week, and breathe, everybody. It sounds like you all need to, but breathe. Love and light. See you soon. Take care. Bye.